Hey YouTube, this is Josh. My first video in a while. Just wanted to show one of my hobbies, which is flight simulator. Actually, that goes along with my other hobby, which is trying to learn how to fly real planes. But right now I've got Flight Simulator 2020. I've got the new Honeycomb Alpha and Honeycomb Bravo yoke and throttle quadrant, and yeah, that's kind of my setup. I've got over here on the iPad, I've got ForeFlight running, and I have a connector program running on my computer, and it's connecting in our actual location in the simulator on ForeFlight. So I've also got vPilot loaded, and vPilot gets me connected into the VATSIM network for live air traffic control. And so we're going to hear some of that as well on this video, but I'm just kind of showing I'm making this video to show a buddy kind of what I do, and hopefully y'all will enjoy it as well. But you'll hear some radio communications. I'm not very good at it, so I'm not going to brag or not going to boast, because I know that I'm not good on the radio. But we'll see how it goes. And right now I'm at BWI, and I'm in a Diamond DA-40, which is actually the plane that I'm training in as well right now. It's been a while, but I got to get back up there. But that's the plane I'm training in, so I'm trying to simulate it as well, just to kind of work on procedures and kind of the checklists and everything that we do in the real airplane. I'm not going to be running checklists today. I'm just going to kind of go by memory, because we're in a simulator and our life isn't on the line. But that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and start up VATSIM, or start up the vPilot and the airplane, and we'll hear some radio communications coming over the speakers. And I think we'll just go in the pattern, maybe once or twice, do some touch and goes. And you'll see me on the iPad as well, copying down my clearance, which I'll have to get since I'm in controlled airspace. So why don't we go ahead and get started, and you'll kind of just get a feel for something that is really cool. This game it's kind of a game, kind of a simulator, but it's awesome, and the realism is pretty accurate. So just wanted to show y'all kind of what's going on, and I'll talk you through the video if I think about it, and we'll just go from there. So here we go. Alright, we'll turn the battery masters on, alternators on, avionics bus switches on. Some of these switches aren't simulated, so I'm going to be using the mouse to turn them on and off. Over here on the throttle quadrant, I've got the parking brake set, fuel pumps turned off, pitot heat's turned off, throttle's all the way down to idle. Engine master's turned on. We'll go ahead and turn on the position lights. Those are the red and the blue lights on the wings. We don't need to use the strobes during the daytime. So we'll turn the electronics master on. Wait for Garmin to start up here. And we'll continue.
Number 135 Tango, you've been in space. Washington Center is offline. Fix change of crew. Give good flight.
We are already connected up to the VATSIM network, so you're going to hear some of the radio communications.
35 miles. 3045.
I switched the radio off for now so I can talk, but I've already got the ATIS frequency tuned, and the Potomac approach, I'm sorry, tuned as well, so we can call in and get our clearance after getting the ATIS information. Alright, so what I'm going to do now on the iPad, I've got ForeFlight up, and I've got my scratch pad opened up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to the ATIS, and we're going to listen and see what they say about the weather and active runways and the like. One 127.8.
Visibility 10, 25,000 scattered. Temperature 8, 2.911. Altimeter 3045. Arrival aircraft, expect visual approach runway 10, runway 15 left. Departing runways 15 right, 15 left. North is to airmen. Bird activity in vicinity of airport. Simultaneous approaches are being conducted to power runways. Read Michael runway assignments and read Michael hold short instructions. VFR aircraft say direction of flight and aircraft type. Advise on initial contact. You'll have information kilo. Advise on initial contact. You'll have information kilo. From Moore, Washington International Airport, date of information kilo 1954 Zulu. Web 260 at 7. Web variable between 230 and 290. Visibility 10.
All right.
25
So we'll go ahead and
tenor.
turn that off as well, and I'm gonna
2.11.
let's do this here,
Altimeter 30.
so we don't hear the other radios. The information we got is visibility is 10 miles, scattered clouds at 2,500 feet. The altimeter, which is important, is 30.45, and we got some runway operating instructions as well. But they'll kind of ATC will give us that information again during our clearance. VFR flight planes, which is us, we have to say the direction of our flight, which we are just going to stay in the pattern. We have information kilo, so when we call up to Potomac approach, we have to let them know that we have information kilo so that they know that we have the latest information. And the first thing in the readback or in the ATIS was the winds, but I caught it at the end. Winds are at direction 260 degrees, which is west, essentially, at 7 knots. So that's what we got, and so we'll just put in some information into our plane, the altimeter, and we'll get ready to call for our clearance. Pretty high pressure today, but yeah, that matches up. Altimeter 3045 matches on our G1000 and our steam gauge. We've already filed our flight plan in vPilot, so they know that we're getting ready to call up, so they're ready for us. Let's go here. And let's see. Potomac approach is 119.70. So I'm gonna kind of sit here for a second just to make sure nobody is currently talking, and I don't want to talk over anybody, so we're just gonna sit here and wait for a second. Currently I don't hear anybody, so we'll go ahead and call up for our clearance. Forgive me because I'm not good on the radio, so don't make fun of me. Potomac approach, Diamond Star 245 Delta Sierra is requesting VFR clearance. We're just going to stay in the pattern.
November 245 Delta Sierra, Potomac departure low. You're cleared down the Washington class for airspace, squawk 2423.
Alright, clear to the Bravo, squawk 2423. And we have information kilo as well. I left that out.
November 5 Delta Sierra, thanks for kilo. You ready to taxi now?
We'll advise when ready.
Okay, you can plan where 15 left, the altimeter 3045.
We'll expect 15 left to 245 Delta Sierra. Alright, so we've got our squawk code and our clearance, and he said to expect runway 15 left. I'm going to go ahead and set our squawk code in the transponder 2423. Alright, let's check, make sure there's nothing else we need to do right now. I'm not going to do anything with the maps in the G1000 at least. Not for now, not for just flying in the pattern. And don't use this as official operating procedures, because this is not, I'm not following a checklist or anything. Just enough to go up and have fun on the simulator. Alright, so on the ForeFlight application on the iPad, I'm not sure if this is backwards to y'all on the video or not, or if it's right side or forwards, but what you can see there is I've actually zoomed into a map of BWI, and we can see our plane's location right here at Signature Flight Support. We're going to be expecting runway 15 left, so we're expecting them to give us a taxi clearance down Quebec and hold short of 15 left. Let's see if that's what they give us. I'll go back to my scratch pad to copy taxi instructions, which should be fairly simple. We gotta get the plane started. That's kind of important before we call it for taxiing. I think usually the plane would already be started before even calling ATC. So we're a little bit behind, but that's okay. Anyways, fuel pumps come on. And in this plane, the engine master is already turned on, but we're gonna go ahead and start the engine. And back to on. Parking brake is set. Trim is set for takeoff. Flight control is free and clear. Flaps I've already put down to take off. I did that before the video started. We'll go ahead and turn our taxi lights on. Check the rudder. Rudder's good. Fuel pumps can come off for now. Alright, now we need to call up and let them know that we are ready for taxi. Shamrock approach Diamond Star 245 Delta Sierra is ready for taxi.
Diamond 5 Delta Sierra, runway 15 left, taxi via Quebec.
Taxi to 15 left via Quebec, 245 Delta Sierra. Alright, so we got exactly what he said we would have. So 15 left, which is the runway right next to us, so that's convenient. And taxi via Quebec, which is what we expected. So we got a turnaround here. So let's go ahead and release the hold the park brake, release the parking brake, and give it a little throttle. That's not supposed to happen on a simulator. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but there's a plane freaking out over here. That's okay. Alright, we're making our way to Quebec, and I just made a 270-degree turn when I didn't have to, but that's okay. Again, this is not real life. This is just a simulator. And the reason I chose Baltimore today is because there's Potomac Approach 1 was on comms, which is nice to have, and also it's a nice, there should be plenty of people out here, just because it's kind of popular airspace. Alright, so we're leaving the apron now, and we're going to be entering taxiway Quebec in just a second. By the way, I'm a pilot with 5.9 hours flying time, so I am definitely not an expert at anything, much less radio, taxiing, takeoffs, and checklists and all that. I'm not an expert, but I still like to have fun, and this is a good way to practice as well. Alright, so we've entered taxiway Quebec, and we're just going to taxi down to runway 15 left. You can't see the rudder pedals down here, but I'm just trying to stay on the center line here. Not very good at it. And in this plane, you use differential braking to keep your plane going straight. Meaning you use the left brake and the right brake to turn the aircraft. The rudder really doesn't do much on the ground for much of any plane, so that's what you have to do in this one. Alright, so we're at the hold short point for runway 15. So we're just going to call up and let them know that we're ready to go. I'm not going to do a run up either. Run up check, you usually just, you go to a little parking area and you run the engine full throttle full throttle, and you run a few checks. Not full throttle, I'm sorry. Usually a lower RPM, maybe 1500 RPMs, and you check your magnetos and everything. But I'm not going to do that right now. Tarmac approach, Diamond Star 245 Delta Sierra is holding short 15 left.
Diamond Star 5 Delta Sierra, make left close traffic, runway 15 left, clear for takeoff.
We'll make left close traffic, clear for takeoff, 5 Delta Sierra. Alright, so we just got our takeoff clearance, so here we go. We're going to enter the runway, and let's see how this goes. He said also make left close traffic. That just means we're going to stay in a left-hand traffic pattern. Alright, we're going to turn the landing lights on.
Approaching runway 15 left. Entered runway 15 left. 4,900 feet remaining.
And what you're hearing now is the call-outs from ForeFlight, because it thinks that we're at BWI for real. And ForeFlight is a real application that pilots use, but it's tying into the simulator, so we're getting the real feel here. All right, so we've entered 15 left, and we're going to give it some throttle, and we're going to take off. There's 50 knots. 65, 70 knots, that's about right. So we'll go ahead and take off. And we're climbing. KBWI. The graphics in this game, simulator, whatever you want to call it, are unbelievable.
Caution, inside TFR.
We're in a temporary flight restriction zone. That's great. Not in the simulator. Pull back on the trim a little bit. Alright, we're about 1,000 above the field. So we're going to make for our left crosswind. Which just means we're going to make a 90-degree turn to the left. Alright, cross. And for now, we're just going to leave the flaps down for takeoff, or in the takeoff setting. I'm not going to adjust the flaps during this pattern work. If we look off to the left, we can see the runway, and we're going at a 90-degree angle to the runway. And we're going to make a left turn for the downwind. And we're getting a little high. While we're on the downwind, I can show you what ForeFlight's doing. ForeFlight is tracking our flight. BWI is there to the left or the right. I'm not sure if it's backwards for y'all or not. But yeah, we're tracking our flight. And,
Alright, downwind 50 runway 15 left, clear for the option, report midfield downwind, each time right.
clear for the option, 245 Delta Sierra. Clear for the option, 15 left, 245 Delta Sierra.
Potomac approach. Good afternoon, November 8, 9 Tango, through 17 to cross Troy's at 2000.
November 8, 99 Tango. Potomac approach, good afternoon, descending Trish 3 arrival, expect a visual approach, runway 10.
Descend via Trish 3, expect visual, runway 10, 89 Tango. And November 8, 9 Tango, I should have told you this earlier, but we just picked up Kilo.
Thanks for Kilo.
Alright, we're about ready to turn left for the base for 15 left. I'll go ahead and call it. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to, but I will. Potomac approach, Delta Star 5 Delta Sierra is turning left for left base, 15 left.
Alright, thank you.
So we're a little high. We need to descend a little bit. See the runway out there? Pretty soon we're going to be making our left turn for final. We don't want to overshoot, so we'll go ahead and turn left for final. Potomac approach 5 Delta Sierra is entering final for 15 left.
Downwind 50 Roger, the only thing you need to report to me is just midfield downwind each time.
Copy that. I'm used to VFR at uncontrolled airports. Sorry about that.
No, I get you, I appreciate it.
Short final runway 500.
See, I've already messed up. But this is good practice for getting on the radio for real. It kind of takes away some of the nerves. At least it does for me. And we're still a little high and a little fast. That's okay. It's a simulator. Down a little bit, we're getting ready to take off again and release the brakes, full power. There's our speed and take off. And technically, I just realized my fuel pumps were off. Typically you would put your fuel pumps on, both for takeoff and for landing, just to give the engine some extra fuel if you had to do a go around. So they're currently off. Again, it's a simulator. I should be following procedure, but it's not life or death, and I'm not going to destroy the airplane if I jack something up. And this is just for entertainment. Now we're going to enter the downwind, and we're going to make a call out. I think that's what he asked us to do. Atomic approach, 5 Delta Sierra is entering downwind for 15 left, requesting for touch and go.
And Devon 5 Delta Sierra, 15 left, cleared for the option.
Back to the option, 5 Delta Sierra. Alright, so we've just been cleared for the option again, which means we have the option of a full stop or a touch and go landing. Try and bring it in a little bit slower this time, and so I think I will do full flaps when I turn on to the base. Go ahead and slow down a little bit since we're about halfway across the airfield now, so we're going to slow down a little bit. Flaps full, speed checked. And we're going to turn for final. Sorry, turn for base, not final. We are now on the base for runway 15 left. I think this one we'll do a full stop and end the video. I just kind of wanted to show everybody kind of one of my hobbies. So we'll do a full stop, go back to the gate, and then shut down.
500.
Turning left for final. Suspect we're going to come in a little low, so we'll give it a little power here and level off. Yeah, we got 2 white, 2 red at the runway, which is not bad actually. We're on the glide slope. I undercut the turn yet again. So I'm going to go out a little bit further here. Speed's good. We've got 2 white, 2 red. Center line is lined up, and speed at about 72 knots, which is a pretty decent approach speed for this plane. Power to idle, and land, and brake. Exit the runway runway at the next taxiway. Go ahead and turn left. And back to taxiway Quebec. We'll exit the runway here. Clear right, clear left.
All aircraft taxi, Pacific will be closing in about 10 minutes.
Alright, we have stopped. We'll set the parking brake. Raise the flaps. Turn all of our lights off. We'll reset the trim for takeoff for the next person that gets in the airplane. Just to be nice. And from here, we will turn the electronic master off and the engine master off. I don't think the engine is supposed to still be running, but it is. What did I not do? Engine master's off, electronic master's off. Fuel, okay, I didn't turn the fuel off. I didn't have to turn it on, so I didn't think to turn it off. And so that's basic flight on Flight Simulator 2020 with the Alpha Honeycomb Alpha and the Honeycomb Bravo yoke and throttle quadrant, and also using ForeFlight to kind of track the flight and for flight planning purposes, and also vPilot on VATSIM. So that's kind of what I like to do in my spare time, but hopefully I'll get back up in the air for real very soon. Take care.